So for today, we're going to use 5, 6 and 7. So we're going to breathe in for 5, we're going to hold for 6, and we're going to breathe out gently for 7. So perhaps you could do that with me now. Hello. Today we're going to be talking about breathing techniques. But first I want to tell you a little bit about what happens when we get super stressed. So when we get super stressed, we enter a state called fight, flight or freeze. It comes from millions of years ago when our ancestors were being chased by saber-toothed tigers or trying not to eat poisonous berries, and our system let us know that things weren't quite right. When we enter the fight, flight or freeze system, our language centre can go offline. So you might find times when you literally feel speechless and unable to talk to anybody. It's quite interesting how this happens actually. There are 2 parts to the brain. There's the old brain that contains underneath it the fight-flight system, and on top we've got the new brain which contains all the language systems. At times of stress, our language centre literally goes offline, and that's why we become speechless. At times like this, we have a shortness of breath and we breathe really shallowly. Adrenaline begins to course around the system and we begin to feel completely overwhelmed, unable to catch our breath. Breathing techniques allow us to convince the body that we're in a state of calm and bring us back to that state of calm. What they do is negate the stress that we're feeling, and we do what effectively is opposite action. So if you're feeling completely stressed and breathing shallowly, then what we're going to do is learn how to breathe more deeply. If we're feeling completely overwhelmed, then breathing techniques are probably not entirely appropriate to begin with. We probably first need to start with something called the tip technique, which I'm going to teach you in a moment. The tip technique brings us into a state of calm by shocking our system so that we can prepare ourselves to do more gentle breathing techniques. Some time ago there was research into deep sea divers and how they perform underwater, how they feel underwater. They were hooked up to various monitors, heart rate monitors and blood pressure monitors and the like. And the hypothesis was, as you can imagine, that the further down they went, the more anxious they'd become, the higher the heart rate and the higher the blood pressure. What they actually found was that the divers became calmer the deeper they went. Their blood pressure came down and their heart rate came down. Researchers eventually realised that the reason for this was the temperature of the water. The deeper the diver goes, the colder the water becomes, and actually the calmer they became. Heart rate comes down, blood pressure comes down, and so on. And out of this, open water swimming and ice bathing became popular for mental health. We can't all go open water swimming or ice bathing, but we can use temperature and cold water to help bring our heart rates down and our blood pressure down. One of the most effective ways of doing this is to run a sink full of icy cold water. The colder the better. Even put some ice cubes in if you wish, that would be great. And what we do is take a deep breath and then bend over and plunge our face deep into the water, holding the breath for as long as is comfortable. Come out, take a few breaths, go back in, come out, and repeat 3, 4, 5 times until you feel comfortable, until you feel grounded, until that anxiety has receded. But if you're simply just generally anxious, then what else might we do that's helpful? That's where the breathing techniques come in, and that's what I want to turn to now and teach you a couple of techniques that will be helpful in different circumstances. It's helpful to know how we respond to these breathing techniques. And so rate your anxiety now out of 10, with 0 being no anxiety at all and 10 being the highest anxiety you've ever felt. Rate your anxiety now and then at the end, and notice any difference that you've made. In that way you can tell whether the breathing techniques are working for you. Settle yourself into position. Either lie down on a mattress or sit down on a chair, a comfortable chair, preferably with arms so that you can rest your arms. Take a few deep breaths in and out. Breathe in deeply and steady, and as you breathe out, let those thoughts go. They're not important right now. You can deal with them later. They're not important right now. You can deal with them later. Breathe in deeply and steady, and as you breathe out, let those thoughts go. They're not important right now. You can deal with them later. They're not important right now. You can deal with them later. Take another slow, deep breath in, and as you breathe out, know that all is well in the world, that you are where you are meant to be in this moment as we begin. The first technique I want to show you is called the numbers technique. The numbers themselves don't really matter. What matters is that we exhale for longer than we breathe in. So for today we're going to use 5, 6 and 7. So we're going to breathe in for 5, we're going to hold for 6, and we're going to breathe out gently for 7. So perhaps you could do that with me now. So breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. So breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And out 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. So breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And out 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. So breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And out 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. So breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And out 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. So the second technique I want to teach you is a combination of a body scan and breathing. A body scan is where we literally go from the top of the head to the tip of the toes, and we scan each part of the body to see how we're feeling. We're going to start with the face and neck. So I want you to notice any tension there. Don't judge the tension. Don't try to change it. Just notice it and let it be. Then we're going to move down to the chest. And I want you to notice how your chest feels. Does it feel heavy, tight, light, open? Don't try to change it and don't judge it. Just let it be. Then move down to the tummy. How does that feel? Tight or heavy? And then notice the shoulder blades. Do they feel tight or loose? Light or heavy? Notice the bottom of the back. Again, any tightness there, tension or pain? Just let it be. Don't try to change it and don't judge it. Then your arms and hands, noticing any tension there or tightness. Then what about the hips? How do they feel? Then your bum. How does the weight of that feel sat in the chair? Notice the back of your legs. Any tension there? What about the bottom of the legs? Any tension there? Don't judge it, just let it be. And then the feet and toes. Any tension or tightness there? And perhaps you want to wiggle your toes if you wish. Then bring your attention back to the breath. Notice that you're breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Notice the cool air as you breathe in, as the air whooshes past your nostrils, tickling the little hairs in your nose. Notice the warm air as it passes over your lips as you breathe out. Cool air as you breathe in. Warm air as you breathe out. Cool air as you breathe in. And warm air as you breathe out. Next, notice your shoulders as you breathe in and breathe out. Notice your shoulders rising as you breathe in and breathe out. Notice your shoulders rising gently as you breathe in and breathe out. And then the chest. Notice your chest rising as you breathe in and lowering as you breathe out. Rising as you breathe in and lowering as you breathe out. Next, place a hand gently on your tummy. Breathe past your diaphragm into your tummy, trying to make your tummy rise as you breathe in and deflate as you breathe out. Notice it rise as you breathe in and deflate as you breathe out. Take your hand away and see if you can continue to breathe in and breathe out, raising and lowering the tummy. Noticing as you breathe in that the tummy raises, and as you breathe out that the tummy deflates. Breathe in and the tummy raises. Breathe out and the tummy deflates. We're going to bring this practice to an end, and so take a few normal breaths in and out, breathing in and breathing out. Bring yourself back into your body. Notice that you lay on the mattress or sat on the chair. And when you're ready, open your eyes.